So we have the following inequalities we want to solve. 5x plus 9.25 should be greater than or equal to 2.5. Subtract 9.25 from both sides to be left with 5x should be greater than or equal to 6.75, negative 6.75. And then we have to divide by 5. When we divide by 5, we'll get negative 1.35. So x should be greater than or equal to negative 1.35. What you have to worry about when solving inequalities is if ever you divide or multiply by a negative number, then you must flip the direction of the inequality. Okay. This here is a double inequality. It says negative 10 is less than or equal to 6x minus 16, which is in turn strictly less than 14. So what you could do is solve both of these at the same time. When you're trying to get x by itself, you need to add 16. So you would do it to the right hand side, but also do it over here to the left hand side. Negative 10 plus 16 is a 6. 14 plus 16 is a 30. In the middle, you're left with just a 6x. And then divide all parts by 6. Left hand side, you have a 1. Keep that sign. Middle, you have an x. Right hand side, you have a 5. So you should take all x's between 1 and 5, including 1 but not including 5. The bottom here we have absolute values. It says that the absolute value of 2x minus 8 needs to be equal to 14. That means two things. Either 2x minus 8 is equal to 14, because you know the absolute value of 14 is 14. But on the other hand, it could be that 2x minus 8 is negative 14, because the absolute value of negative 14 is also 14. So you take what's on the inside, you set it equal to the positive value, but then you also set it equal to the opposite of it. So add 8 to get 22. Divide by 2 to get 11. Add 8. This time you get a negative 6. Divide by 2 to get a negative 3. X can take on two values, negative 3 and 11. Now, absolute value with an inequality, this mix gets complicated. In general, the absolute value of x being less than some number means to you that all the guys who solve this must be between minus 5 and 5. Let's just think about it. Any number in here, once I slap the absolute value around it, it'll be less than 5. Negative 3, positive 4, any of these guys, slap an absolute value around it, it'll be less than 5. But as soon as you go outside here and pick something bigger than 5, it'll be absolute value bigger than 5. Even pick something out here smaller than negative 5, it'll be an absolute value bigger than 5. If you take negative 7 and plug it into this, it'll be a false statement. So we only want the guys that are in between. the equals to, we could take them too. Alright, great. So now back to our problem. We have absolute value of 6x minus 12 is less than or equal to 4. That means what's on the inside, 6x minus 12, needs to be in between negative 4 and 4. So it's like the one we did above here. We can solve them both at the same time. Add the 12 to all three parts to get 8 is less than or equal to 6x, which is less than or equal to 16. Divide by the 6 to all three parts to get 4 thirds is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 8 thirds. Okay, that's what you do when you have absolute value less than something. If you have absolute value greater than something, that's when you get the other parts. You need it on the one hand to be bigger than 5. On the other hand, you need it to be less than negative 5. Bigger than 5, less than negative 5 if it has a greater than sign. If it has a less than sign, you want the in between. Okay, great.